This is Beyond a Reasonable Doubt with your hosts, Mark Geragos and Gary Smith.
Wow. This is welcome to BRD. I can barely hear, but I'm here at the New York Christmas party, coming on the heels of I've been all over the country, and actually, this is the first time I've spoken post Smollett verdict, right, Gary?
That's absolutely right. I mean, we've had some texts, but there's been nothing public.
Yeah, and apparently, I can't quite figure it out, but I'm told by Tina, who is the New York partner who's there in Chicago, that it was guilty on 5 out of the 6 counts.
Correct. That's what I'm hearing as well. Maybe you can enlighten me on this, but depending on which media outlet you read, some, I would say the CNNs of the world are saying that the max he could get is a 3-year sentence, and then others are saying that it is at the judge's discretion to sentence him concurrently or not. So he could have 15 potentially.
This judge, I've been under a informal gag order, I suppose, because Tina's trying this case. I am not trying this case. I was admitted pro hoc, which is basically the Latin term for that particular time when the case was dismissed. So now I'm not under any kind of restrictions, even though I don't think I was before, but I was deferring to the judge. This was such an outrage. And for those who hate Jussie because ideologically you don't buy anything he was selling, or you think it was a hoax or this or that. This was the criminal justice system at its worst. You had nothing but, this was a kind of a Cook County gangbang, prosecutorial gangbang to get back at somebody who was already determined to have been punished, who had $10,000 forfeited, who had to do community service, and they dismissed the case. This whole thing, this ruse by the woman, this retired judge, white, by the way, who then insinuates herself in and gets this current judge, old white man, by the way, to then appoint, by the way, an old white man, Dan Webb, to prosecute this case as the Office of Special Counsel or Special Prosecutor. Anybody who listens to this broadcast, Gary, you'll know this because you've been with us for 6 years. You will know I don't believe that there can ever be any justice when you've got a special prosecutor, because they have one object, and that's conviction. And whether it's Ken Starr, Robert Mueller, or anybody else, Dan Webb, it's a complete, to me, bullshit concept that should not be in the law, shouldn't be allowed in the law. And this was an outrage. This court proceeding with Jussie was fixed to begin with from start to finish. And, you can share it if you're somebody who thinks it was a hoax. I personally don't buy that. I understand and respect the jury's verdict, but you know why I respect the jury's verdict? Because the judge basically decided he was going to get a conviction at all costs, and he was not going to admit evidence that was relevant. He was going to taint the jury, and it was frankly like I said, a prosecutorial gangbang.
With that in mind, do you see grounds for him to appeal?
Oh, I've said all along privately, because I was trying to observe his illegal, informal, whatever you want to call it, gag order. He didn't care. He was looking for a conviction. He didn't care if he got reversed. He didn't care about anything else. All he wanted was, this was a way to show, originally this was a way to take out Kim Foxx, who was a progressive prosecutor. And if you look at the timeline, if you look at everything that happened, it was all designed to take out Kim Foxx. Appointing Dan Webb, who was supporting one of his biggest benefactors, was the father of the guy who was running against Kim Foxx. This was a game from the beginning, and it was Cook County politics at its worst. And it was a way for the old white group to take out the young black progressive female. period. Now, I know that might, with some of our listeners, can you imagine the comments down below?
Yes,
Gary?
I can. I can see them floating by right in front of me, as I'm looking at
and
you.
By the way, let you go. But if you're going to call me Learjet liberal, remember, I don't have a Learjet.
It's a G4.
Yeah.
And let's be clear. Yeah, and let's be clear. Adam's $7 million mansion, 7.2, bitch.
7.2 million. And by the way, I'm trying to get an appraiser to come up with more than that for mine in the same neighborhood.
Fair enough.
But this was a classic takedown of a young progressive black DA and prosecutor. And I suppose it worked on the back of a young black gay man and these two accomplices of his, who I call accomplices, who the judge decided who cares about whether it gets reversed.
So I can tell you that your friend Adam is extremely excited to speak to you. As soon as I told him the verdict had come in today, he wanted to know when you were landing. He wanted to get you on ACS, and that didn't quite work out based on your flight times, but we will be doing the full show, the Saturday Best Hour, tomorrow, and he is very excited to speak to you. But I'm going to ask a question that he would ask right now before we get to that. Setting aside the appeals that will come down the road and all of that, putting on your lawyer hat and your experience, what do you believe he is sentenced to in the sentencing hearing that is coming presumably in the next week or so?
Oh, I don't know. They're going to look. This whole thing has been kabuki theater. So what are they going to do? They're not going to. I can't imagine he's going to give him straight probation. He's going to have to give him some time and then stay it on appeal. If he remands him into custody, ironically, that may be good because then it's going to force some appellate court to deal with all the shenanigans at the trial level. This has been one of the greatest perversions of criminal justice. Like I say, I'm going to just give you this caveat. I don't care whether you believe Jussie is guilty or innocent or not guilty. I don't care about that, even though personally I have my beliefs and I've expressed them. I don't think anybody should go through the system, have the case dismissed, be punished by having his money forfeited, having to do community service, and then because of public outcry, be tried again. That's a violation of double jeopardy / double punishment. Double punishment is the same as double jeopardy. Yep. This case is an outrage, and if you don't agree with that, that's fine, but you don't understand what America is based on in the jurisprudence.
Well, we'll be following the inevitable unfolding of the sentencing and the appeals and all of that. Other than that, Mark, I think I'm going to let you go so you can get back to the party and people can stop commenting angrily about the sound as well as your opinions on Jussie. I'm sure just the comment section is going to be lit. I'm terrified.
You Max in the comment section, but you know what? To all the hater hosts, just remember, if it's you or a loved one of yours who's getting you're in the eye of the storm, just remember, but for the grace of God, it could be you.
Absolutely. All right, Mark, any last thoughts or can I let you get back to the party?
Well,
all right. You have a 1942 on me, and I'll look forward to seeing you at the LA party next week.
You better be there. See you.
All right. See you, pal. Have a good one.
Thanks for listening to Beyond a Reasonable Doubt. Stay tuned for more bonus episodes coming soon.